Hey,
Hi.
how are you
Thank you.
today?
Thank you.
How's your day been so far?
I was a little bit busy,
Okay.
so I'm trying to catch up with my work, especially for the recent days. I have a lot work to do.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me. And before we begin, just because you've shared that with me, I want to scale on, just love to see where you're at on your stress, from 0 being no stress to 10 being extremely stressed. Where are you right now?
It's continued. Yeah, fortunately, I'm insistently experiencing this feeling. I'm trying to struggle to avoid this feeling, but sometimes I told myself that I should overcome these problems and stress, but sometimes I become hopeless in order to avoid this feeling. It's really very hard.
And are there specific things that you do to avoid these feelings of hopelessness? Are there things that help you on day-to-day?
It's actually not related to day-to-day problem. It's related to, as I told you last time, it's related to my being alone. I'm coming actually, from the overseas countries, one of them. And when you come to another country, you feel alone naturally. So I do not have friends here, and my family, I left my family behind, and I have children, so my children is also in my country. I do not have enough language in order to communicate with people, or with this level of my English. Sometimes I feel that when I talk with people, as I feel that people like joking with me, So I'm afraid to build a relationship with other peoples, because we are talking, this is not our language, definitely, and this is our second language. And sometimes I feel that people trying to underestimate your talking or joking with us. So I am trying to avoid to build a good relationship with people. And sometimes actually I feel I'm trying to understand the contextual relationships. If these people sometimes, in terms of my side, am I talking with a good or with a true context with them, or they are going to joke with me? So I do not have any friend here, and my family is not here. So, but I have to be here. This is my responsibility, and this is the job that the company forced me to come here. And if I do not even want to lose this opportunity, because there is also a great opportunity in this, to being here. So there is a burden I think I should pay to be here. But I'm trying to get the difficulties, the problems, but I have difficulties, so I need your help. I think you are going to help me.
Yes, I do hope to help you, and I want to say thank you for sharing that with me. I know that is a lot to deal. That's a lot to handle for one person, and I want to say thank you for being open and sharing that with me. I want to go back to something that you said earlier, where you said that you feel like you should carry this burden. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Naturally, I had a job in my country, and I was with my family, with my wife. So, but I had a regular job there. But in order to get a good position, I had to be here in order to gain experience, in order to improve my English, and maybe I can get some degree by attending to universities in the United States. And when I return back, I can upgrade in a good position I can appoint to a good position in my country. But as I told you, cultural adaptation is a very, very big problem here. And being alone is a very big problem here. Let's say if I do not, I decided to go to my country. So what kind of future is expecting me? This is a things that afraid, and I do not want to be, how to say, in a regular position there. But if I continue here, and my wife disagree to be here, because she had a good job there. She has a good job there already. She is in a management position there, and she doesn't allow my children to come with me. So I have also a family problem beside the cultural problem that I experiencing here. You know, I have been here, let's say, about 3 or 4 years, and I'm going to be here for 3 or 4 years. In total, about 8 years, maybe 10 years. Can you imagine? My children is going to grow, but I'm not with them. So I have children, but they are not. I'm not with them. It's really very difficult. It's really very difficult for me. So I'm suffering this kind of problem. That's the burden I have to pay.
I noticed when you shared that with me, that it's very hard for you, and especially thinking about your children and not being able to see them grow up. That sounds very difficult.
Yeah, you know, for women it's easy to cry, but for men it's not easy. But I am crying also during nights when I was alone. I'm trying. Everything is come to my mind. I'm remembering the past, and I spent good days with them. So, and with my wife also, I had a good life. I have been married for 25 years. It's not easy to left everything behind and come here. So, because of these feelings, I couldn't adapt to my job, to my work, let's say. I couldn't have a good friendship with my co-workers and even with my neighbors. Because in United States, I believe there is no good neighborhood relationship. Everything is based on internet, Facebook, Twitter. I couldn't see any people come together to drink something, to eat something, to socialize. In my country, everything is different. You know every neighbor, and sometimes you go to them and you invite them, and there is a good relationship in terms of neighbors, in terms of relation. Maybe every day, maybe every let's say at least every weekend I can see my neighbors, talk with them, and sometimes eat something with them. But here I couldn't have any relationship with my neighbors. Sometimes when I leave the home, I see some of them, hi, just this one. And this is not satisfying with me, and this is not help me to build a relationship, an intense relationship that I left behind. Sometimes I go to Starbucks, maybe I can find some friend there. It's impossible. Usually the young generation, and I couldn't see the people in my age, let's say, want to share experience, want to talk with another people from another country. It's not easy to find people to build a new life, a good relationship.
Thank you for sharing that. And you mentioned in our little talk, you mentioned a lot of things. You mentioned your family and how difficult it was to leave them, and adjusting to work, and just also adjusting to the American culture. And you've touched on each and every one of them. Has anything helped you with any of these issues? Is there anything that you've tried to help with some of these issues?
I have, I actually talked with somebody and told me that you can involve to some communities here in order to have a good relationship, friendship, let's say. So I decided to go to church.
And how was that experience?
But I couldn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I told them, promised myself I will go there. So,
What stopped you from going?
did you remember the attack that happened in I think?
In New Zealand?
No, in San Marcos?
Oh, no.
One of the person that with his gun and killed many people in the church.
Oh, I did not hear about that.
It was last year. So I afraid to go there. If I go there, I question myself. If I go there, I'm different from them, and maybe they will afraid from me, and I will afraid from. They're afraid. So I decided the best thing is not to go. So I didn't go because it's easy. I'm afraid.
That's a reasonable thing to be afraid
Yeah.
of.
Sometimes I heard that people, crazy people, they are going to school and kill the children. And this is makes me very, very fearful to not going far with my relationship with other people, because somebody told me that everybody has gone in Texas especially. So I am afraid to go to rural areas in forest or something that I can forget my problem. Without, if I had a group of people, friends, etc., I can involve with them and participate with them and go there. But I do not have any good friends groups. This is a big problem for me.
So I think one of our goals that can help you, or you can tell me yes or no, would be to help find a support group. Because from what you've been telling me, you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, you don't have anybody to share these problems with. So do you feel that finding a support group would help?
Sometimes yes. In order to find these kind of groups, I deliberately attended to English classes. But I realized that all of them coming from other countries. So I started to build a good relationship with them. But even they do not the culture of the United States here. Their knowledge is limited about the culture and how they have a limited experience with the American life. So the people who has a good knowledge of the life experience will not come to English classes. So the people who like me do not know English very, very good, very well. So they come to English classes. So we are starting to talk with each other, but nobody knows.
Yes.
And at the end of the period of the class, everybody goes to home and nobody see each other.
Okay,
So in my country, I was cooking. I cook. I think I'm good cook. So I decided to invite some of my friends from the work, my co-workers maybe. But okay, just come and visit and eat and go, and the relationship is not continuing. But what happened, in order to forget everything, I started to cook every time and eat every time. So it very I get weight.
Because you're just cooking all the time.
Yeah. This is also another big problem.
And you didn't take the food to work? Or
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
And you're eating it at work?
Yeah. I'm not eating outside because I didn't like the outside eating.
So it seems like you really enjoy cooking.
Yes.
Yes. Have you ever?
It was my hobby. But here, it is like a tool in order to forget my problems, my family, my children, what to say. I wish they were with me. I wish they were with me. But because my wife didn't want to come here, and I didn't want to give up this opportunity given to me. So I think this problem is going to continue for where, I don't know.
I want to go back to the cooking because I know whenever you spoke about cooking, it like made you smile and it kind of brought out a light in you while you were speaking about it. Have you ever, and I know you mentioned that it used to be a hobby back home and that it helps you forget about certain stresses that you've been experiencing. So would you be willing to try maybe joining a cooking class?
What kind of class?
A cooking class?
To attend to a cooking class?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't think this actually.
Would that be something you'd be...
It is at the university?
I don't think that we necessarily have a cooking class, but this is something that we can both look into, and I can send you some places via email. And would you be open to attending?
Yeah, definitely. It's a good idea.
Yeah, and you can explore that
Mm-hmm.
a little bit more. And I know we have a couple more minutes here. So we shared a lot. Well, you shared a lot today, and I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me and enlightening me, because there was a lot of things I didn't know you were experiencing. You just opened my eyes to a different experience, and I want to say thank you. And I will see you next week.
Do you mean today is enough?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and yes, and I will be sending you an email with any classes that I see in the area, any classes.
I would be very happy. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you so
Thank you.
much.